welcome everyone.
Good to see you.
Leadership Lean-In number 2.
Part 2.
If you're with us last week, well done. You're 100% attendance so far. Stick with us for the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Half an hour tops.
Tops.
Absolute tops. We've discussed it. We know what we're doing. How's it going?
Yeah, good. It was great to be together yesterday morning, so thanks so much for tuning in, all of you that did.
10 a.m. we actually made it, which is so nice.
Really nice.
And so I don't know if you picked up, but it was pre-recorded, so we pre-recorded this last Sunday. So we did it on Thursday, so we got to sit with our families.
Which was nice.
And enjoy Sundays, which was really nice.
Yeah. And it was just nice to have the pressure off, right? Because the last 2 Sundays before, we worked really hard with other people, and it was just a stressful experience. So to just be able to think, it's definitely going to play, it's definitely going to come on. I've got a coffee, nice cafetiere. So nice. That would be my recommendation, okay? So how to enjoy Sundays the most, get the most out of Sundays. I think you need cafetiere coffee, good coffee. If you don't have that, get that straight away. I think you need a notebook, probably of some kind for doodling if you get bored, but also taking copious notes. And the best thing about Church Online is you can pause for a pee.
Yeah.
If the guy prattles on, you can. Well, you can't fast forward, but you can kind of just switch off and mute and things. And it's great, right? You don't have to leave your home. There's so many there's downsides that we don't get to see each other, but the upsides, you could be in your PJs.
Yeah.
Finish at 11.
Amazing. So we had pancakes this morning. We had a big breakfast to celebrate being at home together for Sunday morning. So we had big pancakes, and then we FaceTimed or Zoomed Alex and Lucy and had a nice chat. Isaac and Florence showed us they're reading. They had their Bibles ready. They're top SWATs, absolute teachers' pets.
Pastors' kids.
So I quickly told everyone in Caleb's going to get their Bibles.
It's all the show, honestly. If I Zoom you, the kids will be there with their Bibles.
Holding their Bibles permanently.
Well, as soon as they turn that off, they burn them, they rip them, they do all sorts. I can't control them. So.
But it was really nice. And so I don't know what you're doing with your kids during. So I was thinking about it today because we had Caleb sitting on the sofa really nicely next to me. He did have his eyes closed when Alex was praying at one point, and so at first I was impressed, and then I thought he's just fallen asleep. So I'm not sure what's going on. But so we had some colouring books out. I don't know what you've got done for your kids. What were you doing this morning?
My intention was that we all had a Bible each, so their kids' Bibles. We all opened it to the right page, the day of the cross, and I thought this is going to be great, and they'll listen to me, and we maybe got a minute through me speaking before there were other distractions.
Yeah, big time.
And I had to rein things back in at one point.
Yeah. I hope if you've got older kids, we really want to engage everyone on a Sunday morning. Yeah. Like if you've got any good ideas, you parents of teenagers or ones who aren't 3, 4, 5 years old, so kind of you can occupy them with a colouring sheet for a little while. And as soon as you get the songs on, so Caleb and Evelyn, I got them out dancing.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird because there's me on the screen and then I was trying to sing. I was singing along, so it just sounded like the same verse yourself twice. Yeah. But the kids enjoyed it.
And we do really want to. We're really conscious of how to help families engage with these times, because it is a different kind of thing, and we're used to doing other things. So on top of the stuff we mentioned last week about we're going to start doing daily videos 5 days a week along with a reading plan. We'd love you to do that as families. We're just going to start thinking hard about, once now we've got things off the ground and are just about to start Redeemer, what do we do? What do we send out for specifically for kids or to help families with kids of all different kinds of ages? But I hope you're doing well with your kids. I hope if you're watching this and you're teenager or that kind of age, I hope you're tuning in. I hope you're engaging. This is a great time for you to do that, to engage on your own terms. Yeah,
it's just so nice being together, even online, like seeing the comments come down the side and knowing, they're sitting, we're doing this together, we're watching it together. And so if you missed it, if you didn't watch it with everyone else on Sunday, I would encourage you, block out that time, think this isn't the time where I'm going to go and do something else, or
definitely.
I don't know, whatever you want to do, although you can have it on the laptop. If you're desperate, you can have it on the laptop and do something else, But I would much better get together on the sofa and we want to do it together. Comment if you can. It's lovely just seeing everyone say what they're up to or say what they're enjoying. Amen. I just love seeing those
No,
names
it's
tick
nice.
up.
It's really nice.
Yeah, really good.
And I think our thinking has probably shifted a little coming into Redeemer, in that we're really seeing this. This is such a unique opportunity to engage people with the gospel in church life in a way that they just never would have engaged before.
Yeah.
And so we're intentionally trying to think that kind of hour slot on a Sunday through that lens, which is why we're doing stuff like this. It's why this is a much more what's going on in the life of Redeemer and us communicating. We're intentionally not doing much of that on Sundays. We might do prayer and worship evenings in the coming weeks and months, which are in a way that things, we can do things together that we're not going to do on Sundays. The same with the Digging Deeper thing. Yeah. It's like a long, elongated Bible study, and so it's just worth bearing in mind that that's how we're thinking about Sundays, right? It's a real public facing thing. So even just the way that you think about what we're doing there, it is a family thing, but it's a family with big open doors where we want as many other people to engage with as possible. It's worth bearing that in mind even when we're writing things, when we're commenting. Like we really want to be showing the best of ourselves to the world around us. And
because there's an opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been listening to a few things, and obviously there's loads of really difficult things to do with COVID-19, and people were dealing with losing jobs or illnesses or even deaths in families and all this kind of thing. But there's also opportunities for us missionally. So I heard a good phrase the other day, and they were talking about crisis bringing clarity, like to help you see certain opportunities, and they were talking about not wasting your crisis. So so like you were just saying, this is something we weren't thinking about. Maybe, who knows, months or a year down the line, thinking about doing stuff online or streaming things, and now here we are reaching people we wouldn't have reached a month ago. Yeah. Hopefully, and trying to actually what are we going to put in place now for us as a church, of us as families, and for us as individuals. Like it's a good moment to think through why we're doing things, how we're doing things.
And I've been seeing the phrase "new normal" a lot on different, in a little hashtag, which is kind of nice cliche, but I think when we come through this whole kind of crisis moment, I think we will be thinking things through differently. I'd be disappointed if we kind of reverted back to how things were. And that's actually why we decided to bring the start of Redeemer forward, because we really do see this as an opportunity that we can take hold of. But having said that, we're just really aware, even people in the church, that this is a difficult time. I was speaking to a lady today who's told, like many of you probably were, that she couldn't leave the house for 12 weeks because she's got underlying health conditions. And that's a massive deal for some people. I mean, she's so grateful for her garden, which is nice, because otherwise just inside. But
it's just one of your calls, right?
One of my calls.
So you might have had a phone call from us. You might not. So
if not,
we're not quite
it may well be that's because you're on my list and I'm a little slower getting.
But we have been calling, Alex and Rod and I, calling through all of the planting team, or if you're or members of Jubilee. And so if you've had a call from us, I hope it hasn't come at too annoying a time. And we've still got a few people to tick off, so bear with us if you haven't received the call. We've not forgotten about you.
But just to know that we're really thinking of you, praying for the church often, especially if you're, if you've been furloughed and you've taken a 20% pay cut, or maybe it's worse than that and you've lost your job, or just those. We're not aware of all of those things, but we're just praying, because this is a difficult time, and we want to stand together as a family during this moment, even as we grasp the kind of opportunities for the gospel. We also want to build family together and kind of go through this together and stand together in it. So.
Leadership team. Should we talk about leadership teams?
Leadership.
If you're here, some people will be thinking, right, we previewed it yesterday, Sunday morning. You said we're going to talk about the leadership team. People are tuned in right now.
So here we are. Let's talk about the leadership team.
Let's talk about it.
Where are we going to start talking about the leadership team?
Well, I think it'd be helpful for you to just say what is an eldership team.
Okay.
Just in case people are confused by the
the
language.
So what we wanted to do is it's important that we realise that we are not just renaming Jubilee. If you're not picked up on that yet, we're actually closing Jubilee Church, which means the eldership team of Jubilee we're going to keep going for a little bit, but we're going to stop that. And so we need to start a brand new leadership team, which is going to take Redeemer Church forward for the first stage. And it really is a kind of pioneering moment. You know, it's a kind of D-Day moment where we've got to carve out some ground together. And so we need a team who are really going to kind of carry and lead that, and lead from the front, be the first people out of the plane, you know, first people over the hill, or whatever you want to say, you know, kind of carry that together.
Sure.
And so we've been gathering this team for the last
few months,
just
before Christmas.
And just to give you some context, just before we come back to eldership, just to give you a bit of context, okay, with this team. If you're watching this, they'll know that this has become a little bit of a bad habit of mine. So I started by saying this group of these couples who were going to be. I said to them, let's just explore leadership together. Let's just start thinking about this. It's a journey. It's a nice, long, leisurely journey.
Very long.
With stops on the way, coffee breaks, trips to stops at McDonald's. All sorts. It's a very long journey.
It could not be more leisurely.
I said that this journey couldn't be any longer. It's gonna be gradual. Let's just explore leadership. And then we kind of were a month or two into that.
A couple of months, yeah.
And we made this decision, this kind of monumental decision. Oh, we're going to plant Redeemer. So I went back to this group and I said, okay, can we just explore leadership? But actually now, can you join with the current Jubilee elders in a bigger leadership team that are going to carry Redeemer for the first stage? But I said, it's a big deal. It's a big responsibility. It's a big step up. But don't worry, because we're not going to start Redeemer until the summer or the autumn 2020. So we've got plenty of time to grow into the role before we actually have to do the role.
So we upgraded from like a leisurely stroll to something a bit more
a jog.
I think a jog.
And obviously, you feel your heart starting to pump a bit with the jog. But whatever, they were gracious. They said to me, Alex, that sounds great, or words to that effect. That's condensing some long conversations into a couple of words. But they said, that's great, let's do that. They were very gracious with me that I moved the goalposts, but they were fine. And then maybe a couple of months after that, or something like that, we made this decision the other week, let's bring the start of Redeemer right forward to Easter Sunday. So then I went back to them and said, okay, I know I said this was a little way off into the future, but can you start leading this church in 2 weeks with me, please?
And now they have no idea whether they're coming or going, where up or down is. Their heads are spinning so fast.
So, but I've assured them as much as possible that is the last bringing. I mean, there's not much else I can bring forward, to be honest. So that's where we are. So we've been gathering this group of 22, so it's a big group. The reason it's a big group is we thought it was really important to start with the current eldership team and wives where that's applicable. But also it's a really important moment that this isn't just the continuation of one, like an eldership team to a leadership team, but the same people. This is actually a moment where God is going to raise people up amongst us. And our goal, right, in the next, say 1 to 2 years maybe, is to recognise eldership. So we really believe in churches led by elders. We think that's a biblical principle. We hold to it. It's one of the things that it's not like it doesn't make you not a Christian if you don't believe in that by any means, but it's one of the things that we would definitely put in place to build the church that we want to build. And so we're going to be looking in the coming year or two to recognise an eldership team, guys full of wisdom and faith and the Holy Spirit and godly character, guys that the church as a whole love and are willing to follow, willing to give their lives to even. That's the kind of thing, there's a verse that I love in Numbers where Moses says to some travellers, he says, come with us and we will do you good. And I want us to have an eldership team where that eldership team can say to the church, come with us and we will do you good. And the church responds, yes, we want to go with you. So that's where we're going, God willing, in the coming years. But we've just got to start somewhere. We are not recognising an eldership team at this moment. I've asked a big group of 22 people to pioneer this church with me, just to get this church off the ground for the first year, 18 months, that kind of time frame, and then we'll review where we are. it's been a good start.
Yeah, they're a great group.
Yeah, so we've been meeting together for a couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just really impressed with how they've responded to the whole thing, because we have shifted the goalposts, and I feel just a little guilty about that.
Yeah. Oh, they've been so good. And it's just a real diverse group, like so many different giftings and skills.
Personalities.
Yeah, it's just really, they're going to be great. So should we say they are?
Yeah. Let's go
Okay, so we better not forget anyone. Let's not forget anyone.
Okay.
And so we've got Matt and Becky Sellens. If you want to cheer while you're sitting watching us, fine. You can cheer in your homes.
Great couple.
Adelaide and Claire McGreedy.
Fantastic.
Steve and Naomi Myesko. Pete and Hayley Ludlow, Payman and Diane Bandar, Val John, who is also on staff,
great addition,
and just fantastic
as well, yeah.
And then got Rachel, myself, Alex and Lucy, Pete and Kath, Colin Reed, Rodney and Sue, Stuart and Hayley, and you were counting, right?
Yeah.
How was it?
I wasn't counting. But I feel like you've said everyone.
I think that must be everyone.
Yeah.
That's everyone.
Okay.
There you go. That's everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
You're
everyone.
making me nervous.
I said you and Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. We got everyone.
Okay. So we're really excited about this team. So like I said, we're not recognising an eldership team, obviously. It's a big group. It's a bigger group than people would recommend a leadership team be, right?
Yes.
To be honest, it's a bigger
Don't
group.
read the conventional wisdom on gathering teams.
Yeah. It's a bigger group than I would naturally want to gather. But I feel like it's right for this season. I think it's really important that the elders that have carried Jubilee for the last however many years, I think they've done such a fantastic and faithful job, and we need their wisdom and experience in this initial season. I'm really confident that we're doing the right thing in this season. But I think it's just I just love to ask you to be gracious with us, because this is a brand new team. Like I said, I've changed the goalposts with these with all of these people. I've shifted it around, and we're all going to have to learn to be a team together, to lead a church together. Some with experience in doing that, some with not. But just really faithful people, really great people. Yeah, great. And so please do be praying for them. Encourage, if you ever see that, if you're in a group with them, encourage them. Send them a message, or just say hi to them if you're passing by their house, just shout into their window. But it's going to take time, isn't it, to build that together, and it's going to take effort as we're planting Redeemer from this Sunday. It's a big thing. Yeah, and how we start is important. So we, like I said, we want to get to a point where we've got an eldership team in place where we just love to follow them, we love to get behind them, and all of that. But I think that's a heart attitude that starts now. You might be thinking, I don't know some of those people. I'm not. Why isn't there this kind of person, or what? You might have loads of kind of questions like that. But I just love you to really give your heart to this team as a kind of an internal decision that you make, because I think it just sets us up so well. Churches that get behind their leaders, they fly, they motor. And actually, we've got some ground to take here together, and we'll struggle to take ground if we struggle to get behind a team. So I just love to encourage you. Let's get behind these guys. I'm going to be leading that team, and we're gonna motor ahead. But it's also important that we're carrying everyone with us. And one of the ways we do that is we kind of get behind the leaders and we own them, pray for them, support them, encourage them, because it's a big time for this team. So we've got lots to cover. And what have we started? So we met last Wednesday on Zoom. It went well.
Use breakout rooms if you haven't done breakout rooms yet.
That was good.
Excellent, it was good.
Yeah, and Rodney was in his element.
Oh, Rodney's absolutely loving it.
You've got to, I don't know if you've used it, but you've got to put everyone in their own rooms. And you've got to, you can kind of decide who's in each room.
I was loving my group.
And Rodney's face appeared on the screen. I didn't not literally face, but
yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
He
to tell us 2 minutes left.
Draws everyone back together.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. So we started talking about pioneer membership, the idea of for this first season. So everyone who's signed up to the Redeemer planting team, who are now in a planting group, what's it going to look like for us to plant? Because like Alex was just saying about storming a beachhead. Were you saying about that?
I think so.
We just said about, maybe, I think you said about it. It takes a lot of effort, that initial push to put something in place to plant a church. And so actually it's going to take every one of us in some form to plant Redeemer. And so the idea of pioneer membership, we're going to be looking at pioneers starting in Luke, and then we're going to do some studies in Acts coming up. It's going to take us actually thinking through what's it going to look like for me to plant Redeemer. And it's just helpful to have some kind of language to put around there rather than just leave it as some ambiguous statement. And so we started talking about it, haven't we? And coming up with some ideas and just to help people think, oh, okay, that's what it means. That's kind of and what's the language you want to use? I don't know what language you want to use.
We'll figure the language out. But one of the things, there's several elements to pioneer membership, I think, and we always want to start. So leadership's one of those elements. Who's leading this ship? And can I buy in with them? That's key, critical to being able to say I'm planting Redeemer. I'm following these leaders. That's critical. But the vision and why. We had a great evening, I thought, and a great contribution from some people about making our why really clear. So it's not just like what we're doing, it's not just how we're doing it, those are really important. But if we don't start with our why, we'll just kind of unravel, and it's the why that kind of gets your heart beating a little faster. And it was just great to hear everyone, although we'd express it in different ways, like the unanimous opinion of the why of starting this church is we want to see people come to know Jesus. And that's going to really govern our decision making. And that's why we want to have some kind of shared language together of what it means to plant Redeemers, because there's a serious task here. But I guess in saying that, we want to build a family, right? And good families, everyone's included in a good family, no matter your age, no matter what you kind of bring to the table, if that's even a good phrase to use.
The family table.
The family's the family, right? But like any good family, I think you have expectations of each other, and I think that's probably a helpful word to use. We want family expectations. What does it mean to be part of the Redeemer family? That's not to say if you can't buy into the expectations or meet the expectations for a certain season, that you're not part of the family. That's not how families work. You're in regardless. We're in because we're followers of Jesus and we've kind of committed to a common cause together. But it's really important that we also have some shared language to say, but this is how we're going to start Redeemer. This is how everyone plays their part. Because the Bible talks a lot about that, right? Like a body, every member has got its part to play, whether it's a small part of the body or a big part of the body. Every person's got their part to play. Every person is a building block, that brick that gets built together, and we're going to build this thing brick by brick, person by person, everyone playing their part until we establish something beautiful.
And you shared, so hopefully you kind of, if you've been around for a little while, if you haven't, you can listen back on the Redeemer website. You shared in January about our vision for what it's kind of our starting point of what we want to be like, who we want to be, God first, gospel centered, mission focused. And so we're kind of going on from there, aren't we? What's the next step? Trying to put a bit more flesh to those bones. And specific. But it's just great to talk about want to be family, want to be missional. And we have great opportunity, even at the moment we have great opportunities to be missional in this current situation. Which is kind of what some people will be doing in their planting groups. And so hopefully you've signed up for a planting group. We've signed up for planting groups. I've got a great group. I'm loving it. We're having our first Zoom meeting this Tuesday, I think. And actually, so someone had a great idea for anyone out there who wants to steal it. It was actually Alex's wife, Lucy, who had a good idea. We don't. So now, before when we had church physically together, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. A lot of people there, 10 a.m. tea and coffee time, get to chat. Some of you 10:25, sneaking in just before. But actually, Lucy had a good idea that before church we had that tea and coffee church, church before church, coffee time, get to chat, be together. Before the service starts, and actually we're going to have a go at doing that in our planting group.
Sounds great.
To get together 9:30 or 9:40, whatever time, to have 20 minutes chat, catch up, see how people are getting on, have a coffee over Zoom or whatever you want to use. And so if you want to steal that, I think it's I'm really looking forward to it. Next Sunday So this Sunday
That is good.
we've zoomed Alex and Lucy, but next week we're going to do it with our planting group.
Upgrade.
Get your coffees, upgrade. Oh, the chat's going to be a lot better, and I'll feel better. Hopefully these kids won't all have their Bibles out.
Yeah.
I'll make sure Evelyn and Caleb are prepped for next week.
Yeah.
But that's just I think that's a really nice idea. So even if your group doesn't do it, I think why don't you call some people that you know, catch up with people, use that as a nice social time.
I think that's a great example of what I mean by family expectations. I think even just the word expectation can seem burdensome, but it's like we want to be family together. And I think to say, we're not just going to think, I'll just tune in at 12 and have an extra line or just do whatever I want in the morning. It doesn't really matter anyway because it's on TV. It's like, no, I'm going to be part of the planning group. I'm going to watch with everyone else at 10. I'm going to comment and participate, but actually I'm going to start at 9:30 with my planting group, and we're going to have coffee together. I love the phrase church before church, because I think we do think, even digitally, like we're doing it, we think of church as something that I attend rather than something that I am and something that I'm a part of. And so let's do church before church, right? Let's get together, let's have coffee. I think that's a great way to express family together. Great. So I hope you're excited about the leadership team. I hope you're excited about your planting group that's starting. We're going to try and communicate more about the leadership team and introduce some people in the leadership team in different means. So we might do some stuff on Instagram Live for that. Which
so get signed up if you haven't signed up.
Yeah, because we may or may not be able to put it on YouTube. But follow us on Instagram. I know for some of you that maybe harder than it is for others, but do everything you can to get on Instagram, even if it's just to follow redeemer.worthing. It's just worth it so that we can communicate with you. My dad signed up to Instagram. I think
Andy, nice one.
And I think he thought this would never happen.
And your mum?
But guess what? He thought it was a crisis. So apparently he came downstairs having signed up, and he said to my mum, Mandy, my mum's called Mandy, said, Mandy, people have started following me. I don't want people following me. So my dad, if you followed my dad,
he's an influencer.
No offense, so I'm not sure if I should be telling you this, but he's deselected you.
Do you want to should we share his Instagram account on this?
Yeah, let's put it on here.
I'm going to follow you immediately. But if you haven't got, it would be really great. It's just such a easy and helpful way to share what's going on. So if you can go in there, that'd be fantastic. We'll try and share it in other ways as well. But we're going to celebrate this Sunday. So this Sunday is the launch of Redeemer. We've got Good Friday service coming up.
Well, why don't we say, just to finish, what's coming up. So starting from where we are now, so it's Monday night. So Thursday morning, we've got part 2, Digging Deeper, continuing with the intro of Leviticus, but getting into the first few chapters. That's going to be great. I'd love you to tune in for that.
Friday afternoon, so 4 p.m. Friday, we're going to have a Good Friday service. We're going to do bread and wine together.
Get some bread,
so
wine,
get prepped, get down to your local shops, make sure you get a nice bit of bread.
That will be I think that's going to be profound service, and we've never done that before, so such a fitting way to end Jubilee. So do get bread and wine or juice, and we'll do that together as a family.
We'll be trying something special that Sunday for that service. And then Sunday, nothing happening Saturday. Sunday is launch of Redeemer. So get your balloons, get your party poppers, get your cakes.
We'd love you to take photos, by the way, of you engaging with the services, especially on Sunday. And Friday for the last one of Jubilee, Sunday for the first one of Redeemer. So take photos of you watching, tag us in the redeemer.worthing, it's on Instagram. Big time. And it's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you. It's been nice to be with you.
And we'll see you in some form next week, in all the other things coming up. See you.
Bye.